Hello, everybody.
Hello.
What's your name?
What did you like about the defensive performance last week?
I think we cleaned up our third downs. I think we like 3 for 11 or something like that. I thought that was good. I think after the first two drives, we kind of settled down and was able to do some good things. So it's definitely stuff that we can build on.
Do you feel like, as a group, you guys have built some momentum over the last couple games, getting things cleaned up, making some strides forward?
Yeah, I think so. I think every game we've gotten better. Obviously, guys gotten healthier. We get an opportunity to play more with one another. So definitely feel good about it.
How, how did it feel different with Jamal out there, just everything he brings?
Like I said, it's always the energy, the passion. And that tackle he made, one-on-one, open space, was pretty awesome.
What have you seen out of Boye Mafe first 5 weeks of the season? I know you weren't here last year to see his rookie year, but what do you see out of him this year so far?
I see a guy that, like, he's been around the game a little bit. So I think when you watch last year, you see, like, he was trying to figure it out. But then this year, being able to kind of, have another year on his belt, go through a full offseason, he definitely understands the game a lot better. I think the angles that he takes on some of his pass rushes has been really cool to see. And he's just a guy that you just know what you're going to get out of him. He's going to be a playmaker and be where he's supposed to be.
We've seen that Clint Hurd is not afraid to be aggressive. I think there was a blitz called maybe second or third play of the game. What signal does that send to the entire defense?
That I don't think an offense is going to dictate like what we do, and he's going to be aggressive regardless of the situation. I think as players, we like that. We like to be aggressive. We like to try to get in the backfield, and it's not just one person or one group. He's not afraid to blitz whomever. But then also we have our moments where we trust our, the four guys up front, and they're going to get it done.
When you look at Arizona,
Go ahead, Jen.
when you look at Arizona, it's a team that you've played so many times during your career, but how do they look different with a different coaching staff?
I think their run game is a lot different. I think, historically in the past, it was a lot of crunch, a lot of downhill runs, things of that nature. But when you watch them now, they have a lot of pullers, a lot of confidence in their quarterback to keep the ball and make plays with his feet. They have a lot of running backs that can run pretty much similar plays that they have. They do it in all different personnel. They have 13, they have 12, they have 21, 22. So you definitely have to be, on your run fits because they're going to challenge them.
Are they as committed to running balls any team you've seen so far? Seems like they've been running it a lot.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're definitely committed to it, and I think the biggest thing is, the quarterback, adding the quarterback into it, and, his confidence, if he's able to break a long run, the confidence they have in putting the ball in his hand a little bit more, definitely going to be different for us.
Did you expect Jordan Brooks to play this much and this effectively this soon?
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't here when he got hurt, but, historically when you see that type of injury, it takes time for guys to come back. But, with his work ethic in the offseason, I think him and Jamal worked out a lot this offseason. And just when I got back and I saw him and saw the progress that he was making, I knew that he was well ahead of schedule. But I don't think anybody could have expected him to be playing at this level coming off of that injury, which is kind of why I always said, like, we can't just look over how amazing that is and what he's being able to do coming off an injury like that.
It seemed like, from the outside at least, that the vibe after that loss on Sunday was maybe different than other losses. Is that fair, accurate? Like, how did it feel after that game?
It definitely felt like it was a game that we let slip away, a game that we should have won. You don't want to have, like, I think this was maybe one of those games you try to find a positive, understanding that there's so much season left. So I think that's probably the vibe of just being frustrated and upset that you let a game that you probably should have won slip away. But, having the positives that, we kind of beat ourselves, and if we put this together, we can be a really good team.
In that regard, how much growth has the team had since the opening loss versus that compared to the Sunday's loss?
I think I think it's different. 'Cause I think in the beginning of the season, when we came in, there was so much hype, so much buildup, so much talk about what the team was going to be that it was almost like we were supposed to go 17-0. And then when we didn't go 17-0, it was like, oh, man, like, what's the season now? And so it's a little bit different because you understand this is a very difficult league. No matter what the record is, no matter who the opponent is, they're going to bring that A game, and it's going to be a good team. Like, this team is going to come in. If you watch the film, they've been close in a lot of their games, so their record could really be different than what it is right now. So having a young group and being able to explain them to that, you know, you're going to get the best regardless of the record, and understanding that these are paid professionals, and they're going to come out and make sure they do what they need to do to stay in this league.
Obviously, no loss in a football game is on one player, but when Gino's up there saying, you know, put this on my shoulders, that's on me, guys, what does that do for a team when he's kind of trying to wear it like that?
I mean, you definitely respect it because, you know, it's you know, him trying to have accountability, and, you know, he plays a tough position. You know, when you win the games, it's the quarterback. When you lose, it's the quarterback. But, you know, I don't look at it that way. There was plays that we could have made from a defensive standpoint that didn't put them in the situation. There's all across the board, like, guys could have done stuff better. And so I never looked at it that way. You know, you appreciate it, you respect it, but that loss was not on Gino. That was a group thing. A lot of guys could have done stuff different. We collectively, you know, take that loss. It's not going to say in a loss column Gino. It's going to say the Seahawks.
Staying with the leadership role, going back to the previous question where you're telling the young guys any team that you're going to play, right, no matter the record, how important is it for you then as leaders to set that example, play when a game starts?
It's very important. I think it's not necessarily the play. I think it's more so how you prepare during the week. And, you know, a lot of times, like, if you're coming in and you're playing a team that only has one win or whatever the case may be, maybe you don't have that same level of focus coming into the practice. And if you have, as an older guy, if you have the younger guys see that, then that sets the precedent. So having the same focus and same intent and same energy into every team, whether they're a 5-0 team or a 1-5 team, I think that's more important than leading into the game. And then obviously the start of the game is setting the tone, like just applying what you've learned throughout the week into the game.
Bobby, DK is obviously a tremendous asset to you guys, set up this year's receiver, but the penalties are starting to add up again. It's been a trend for the last 3 years. As a guy who's got a lot of respect in the locker room, what, if anything, do you say to him when you see that?
I think the biggest thing is you have to remind him that because of the stuff that's happened over the course of his career, I don't think they'll say it, but, you know, refs know he's kind of a target to an extent. They're paying attention to the things that he does. Even some of the things that other guys might get away with, he won't be that person because they're watching him, and I'm pretty sure the teams that playing him are pointing that out, you know, pregame. Hey, watch 14, watch 14. So sometimes you just got to remind them that, you know, when you set that type of precedence, it takes a while for that to go away. And so that's the biggest thing, is just understanding that they watching him. They aren't going to let him get away with stuff that maybe other guys get away with, and, you know, being mindful of it.
I'm sorry, you said officials or opponents are saying watch 14?
I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing, but a good guess, that receivers, or not receivers, but DBs are going up to the officials saying, hey, watch this guy. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, linebackers do it, safeties do it. If you have a dirty O-lineman, or you have somebody that does extra after the play, you go up to the ref and say, watch him. And I'm pretty sure they would do the same thing.
Do you have crews that you know you can do that with and talk with and have a conversation with versus crews that you know you're not even going to touch those guys?
I'm gonna sound old, but I mean, I've been around for a long time, so I'm pretty cool with everybody. So I don't think there's a crew that I'm like, watch out for. I think there's respect on both sides. So I can't think of one that I couldn't have a conversation with. They've all been really good.
Do you talk before the game with the crews at all? Any interaction at all? Does it more during the game, post-snap?
I don't know if it's like conversation. It's more so acknowledgement, you know, because I think sometimes I think people, you only know the ref until they make a call you don't like, or things of that nature. So my thing is just kind of like understanding their contributions to the game, and so saying what's up to them before the game, just acknowledging that they're there, is kind of my conversation with them. I don't really talk to them about certain things unless like I'm doing something that I want to make sure. Like when I was like jumping over the thing, I'll alert them so they don't call it a flag. They know it's coming, so things of that nature. But it's little conversations like that, nothing too crazy. Or like when we're playing like a team that does a lot of RPOs, letting them know like sometimes the linemen get downfield while they're still doing it, like they can't do that. So watch that.
And a discussion with the officials.
Yeah, just like, hey, this is something that we've watched on film, and can you look out for that?
How does chemistry show up on the field?
I think it's when people are playing in string, like when you see defenders moving and not looking to the left or right to wonder if the guy's there, you just trust and know that that guy's there. So if a route combination takes you over here, you don't have to look over here to know that this guy's pushing with you. In the run game, it's kind of the same thing. It's like I know he's supposed to spill, I know he's supposed to turn it back to me, and not hesitating, just shooting my shot and knowing that the person in front of me or the person behind me is going to be where they're supposed to be. And then just, I think after you make a play and you're watching guys have fun and celebrate with one another, that kind of shows how much chemistry you have.
On that the past few weeks?
I definitely feel that for sure. And as we, add guys like Jamal back and things of that nature, I think it's only grown.
Anything else?
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.